Well, Zanele, my beautiful girlfriend, listen to this. My buddy, Gabriel, has absolutely inspired me to get involved in warming up for the Comrades Marathon, which is taking place this weekend. So I got to say thank you for the inspiration, thank you for the great conversation, and thank you for getting me primed for the challenge. And I'm allowing everybody to join in on this one. So this morning, we'll go through some essential stretching techniques to keep you loose, injury-free, and ready to tackle the road ahead. And we've got a very special guest, a biokineticist. We've got Clint Jacobs, and he's the bio at Biokinetics Jacobs Association. And they're joining us today to show us the essential techniques ahead of the race this weekend. And I think, Clint, for anybody that's getting into their running journey, anybody that's maybe doing a park run or the Comrades, this is probably something that they could be educated on and take with them, right?
That's exactly it, Raul. Thank you so much for this morning.
Yeah, and firstly, obviously, how are you doing?
I'm very good. I'm very good. Very good. Thank you. A little bit nervous, but good.
I want to debug this myth of stretching because there's so much information about when's the right time to stretch, what type of stretching is good for what type of occasion. Serve me, man. Help me get through all this mess and figure out what's going on here.
Sure. So, Raul, the most important part of stretching is that people forget they have to work on their flexibility, they have to work on their mobility, as well as their functionality. Those are three components that's essential, and it's very easy and accessible for the community. If I can show you a few.
Yeah, so firstly on that list, you're speaking about flexibility.
Flexibility.
Right? How do we incorporate that?
So we've got about, did you know that we've got about 650 muscles in the body?
Cheapers, creepers.
More than 350 joints. And around those joints, muscles need to move.
Yeah.
So to move more comfortably, especially in preparation for the race, you need to make sure that you have a dynamic stretch.
Okay.
So something very simple. If you can do a buddy stretch over here. So stretching the glutes area, you will alternatingly just perform a nice glute stretch.
Okay.
And control up. And the other side for me, please. Yeah. Oh. So that's a nice dynamic stretch because it's important to work on a dynamic movement because you're going to prepare for dynamic running, right?
Of course, and this is quite nice because, again, working like stabilizers at the same time.
Exactly.
Activating that like sort of proprioception, which is good for runners too.
So now you can swing over and you're going to go into hip swing. So you're just going to swing your leg back and forward and make sure that you do it in tandem with the buddy. So this is nice for a park run when you know, the weekend warriors. Want to just enjoy a nice run.
Yeah,
and
maybe if you don't know anybody, reach out and make a buddy so that you can get a stretch on. Cool excuse to make a new friend. Hey, you want to help me with my stretches? Come dance with me.
Exactly.
I love this, bro. This is amazing for the hips.
Yeah, so that forms part of the flexibility dynamic movement.
Okay.
Then for mobility, what you will do is if you've got a beautiful mat over here, all right, you'll just work on hip openers. So alternatingly, the movement like that. That works gently on the hips.
Oh yeah, I can feel
and this can be done if you've got the mat over here on your knees. Otherwise, if you're preparing for your race, while you do that, you can do the same movement like this in your batch for your race.
Okay, so again, this is
smaller space.
Warming the body up, priming you up for the race. So essentially, at the end of the day, what are we preventing here? You don't want to be running cold, or what else?
So around our joints, that 350 joints, there's synovial fluid. So there's nice moisture that needs to be lubricated in order to work nice and smoothly and efficiently.
Sure,
so that's what we're doing over here.
I can kind of feel the joint just coming alive. It's like the rust coming off of it.
Because this is our engine when we run, right?
Makes sense, all right.
So now we're going to work on the mobility of the ankle, knee, as well as foot and toe. So you're going to push forward over the toe and back. So now we're working on that mobility over here, as well as you feel a nice stretch in your hip flexor.
Oh,
because that needs to raise the knee, right? During your running motion.
And then, I mean, for many of the viewers listening right now, Clint, how many sort of reps or time do you spend on this before the actual race or event?
So it's very good that you asked me that question, Raul. You can just switch around. It's about 10 to 15 repetitions when you do a dynamic movement, all right? Or when you feel nice and warm. A lot of people love running before the time, so a nice, just a jog, especially before big races. About a 500-meter back and forward, and then they go into these dynamic stretches.
Ooh, these are feeling good, man. It's just like unlocking the power that's lying dormant within.
Exactly, the dormant power. So now we've worked on the flexibility.
Done mobility.
All right, and now we're going to go to functionality because you're going to be doing a running motion on the road, right?
Yes.
So what we start with is nice hip openers while single leg balance again. All right, because that is very important for the stability. You'll feel the stability in your right ankle.
Yes.
Yeah, and now we're going to make it a bit more functional and specific for running, where you're going to stretch down to your foot,
Yo.
hip opener, and perform a hop.
Jeez, bro. and a hop.
Yep, because
Yep.
your ankles need proprioception,
This
right?
is proper.
It
So
needs
you
balance. So balance,
you
toe
balance.
touch.
and I can feel
And then
everything
the
in my
hop.
leg is firing up, a bend and a
There we
hop.
go.
Cheap, bro.
Really-
This foot is burning.
Exactly,
It's crazy.
exactly.
The arch, the stabilizers, the muscles there, they're
Yeah.
coming alive.
Yeah.
This is starting to make sense. Okay.
So yeah, sorry.
Essentially, after this, you geared up, you're warm, you're ready
And
to run.
you're
Anything
ready.
to take into account for maybe someone that's doing this for the first time or getting into their running journey?
So it's very important to take it nice and slow. Feel your body, understand what you need to mobilize. When you wake up that morning, you're going to maybe do a park run, for example.
Yes.
You can feel that hips are nice and tight. These are hip mobility exercises. If you feel your ankles are nice and tight, you know there's various mobility movements that can be done on the ankle, of which one I just showed you over there.
Absolutely.
Now you go do your race, right?
I'm ready for it, yeah.
After your race, what a lot of people forget is that they need to do the static stretches.
Afterwards as well.
Yes.
Okay, all
So
right.
part of the flexibility part, you need to do the dynamic one before, but the static stretches after. So if you don't mind, Raul, do you mind just lying on your back for me,
Okay.
please?
Quick one. We've got time
Yep.
for one last one.
All right,
On
so,
my back.
sorry. So your hamstring stretch, you're just going to lift up your right foot. So now you can do it assisted. So you completed your race, your Comrades marathon race, and you've got a nice hamstring mobility stretch. You can do
that's
it
toy.
assisted. Nice hamstring stretch. Get the lactic acid moved out of the joints and just relax, okay?
Oh,
Let
Clint,
the
this was
heart
good,
rate
man.
come
I
down.
could sleep here.
So you can do
Thank you so much.
do that on both joints and then into the glutes. So that helps you to
Absolutely
relax.
Incredible stuff, man. I think that just makes us so much more clear on how to get prepped and how to get ready for any race day, whether it's the park run or the Comrades Marathon. And I think having people like Clint Jacobs out here is so incredible. He's a plethora of knowledge. You want to find out more. You want to get your body into a state where you can take on all the challenges of the world. Well, reach out to this man over here. Jacobs and Associates Biokinetics are doing incredible things with the body and really unlocking all our power. So what are you waiting for? Reach out to this man, unlock all the magic within you, and good luck to all of you that are heading through to the Comrades this weekend, 98th edition. Booyah, you got this.